I'm here with the Association of African Universities Television, AUTV. I just want to say that without the media, you won't know what's going on in the world. Even with the media, you sometimes don't know what's going on in the world. So you need to tune in to the reliable sources who are really on the front lines, who can give you the information you need and give you facts, not conjecture, give you real news, not fake news. And this is the place to find it, AUTV.
The voice of higher education in Africa.
Hello and welcome to the Hello Africa Morning Show, coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities here in Accra, Ghana. We begin with the top African news. My name is Philemon Edwards. QS Kwakareli Simons has officially launched the inaugural QS World University Rankings Sub-Saharan Africa 2026 in Accra. This introduced the first ranking framework dedicated solely to institutions in the region. The new data-driven methodology assesses universities based on research impacts, employability, sustainability, global engagement, and learning experience. Organizers say the rankings are designed as a strategic benchmarking tool to strengthen academic performance, boost global visibility, and position sub-Saharan African universities more competitively on the world stage. The event, held at the Secretariat of the Association of African Universities, brought together university leaders, policymakers, academics, and students from across the continent to discuss the future of academic excellence in Africa. The Vice President of the Strategic and International Engagement QS, Kwakareli Simons, Dr. Ashwin Fernandez, stated that the new regional ranking is the first of its kind dedicated solely to sub-Saharan African institutions, providing a platform to showcase the region's academic strength and growing global influence. Mr. Wesley De Silva Sequeira, the Product and Research Advisor, outlined the methodology behind the rankings, highlighting key performance areas such as research impact, employability outcomes, sustainability, global engagement, and student learning experience. He emphasized that rankings should not be viewed as competition alone, but as strategic tools to help universities benchmark performance, attract investment, and strengthen international partnerships. Stakeholders were also encouraged to see the initiative as an opportunity to drive innovation, improve teaching and research quality, and build stronger institutions capable of competing globally. The inaugural rankings are expected to enhance Africa's academic visibility while supporting universities to play a stronger role in building knowledge-based economics across the continent. The organizers say continued collaboration between institutions and policymakers will be key to ensuring that African universities remain competitive and globally relevant in the years ahead. The United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, and the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Africa CDC, have signed a landmark Memorandum of Understanding during the African Union Summit 2026. This is to strengthen collaboration on women and adolescents' health across Africa, aiming to expand access to sexual and reproductive health services through innovation, data-driven policymaking, sustainable financing, and strategic partnership that will reinforce resilient and equitable health systems on the continent. The agreement, signed at the African Union Summit 2026, brings together continental public health leadership and global reproductive health expertise to accelerate universal access to sexual and reproductive health and rights. The United Nations Population Fund Executive Director, Ms. Keita, stated that every woman and girl has the right to quality health care grounded in equity and dignity. She explained that the partnership combines public health leadership, technical excellence, and continental reach to accelerate progress across Africa, ensuring innovation, policy, and investment deliver tangible health outcomes for women and adolescents, particularly those most vulnerable. The Africa CDC Director General, Dr. Jean Kaseya, emphasized that the health of women and girls forms the foundation of resilient communities and strong health systems. He noted that the partnership reflects Africa's leadership in shaping sustainable, data-driven solutions for women's health, adding that both institutions will work together to strengthen health security systems and scale inclusive innovation across the continent. Under the agreement, the two organizations will collaborate with regional and national public health institutions to scale innovation, enhance data-driven decision-making, mobilize resources, and promote sustainable financing mechanisms. The partnerships will also support digital health systems, local manufacturing of essential health products, pooled procurement and mechanisms, and capacity building for health leaders, all aimed at ensuring women and girls remain at the center of Africa's development and health transformation agenda. And in our next story, African heads of states gathered on Saturday in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, for their annual summit at a time of shifting global power dynamics. The meeting comes as the United States and other major powers recalibrate foreign policy priorities, raising questions about Africa's position in a more transactional world order. Leaders are convening to assess how the continent can strengthen collective bargaining, protect sovereignty, and secure better trade and investment deals. Discussions are expected to focus on strategic partnerships, regional integration, and coordinated negotiation, and the frameworks such as the African Union's Agenda 2063 and the African Continental Free Trade Area.
Recent policy signals from Washington suggested a narrower, more transactional approach to foreign relations, prioritizing selected partners and strategic resources over broad-based engagements. Analysts say this shift could weaken Africa's bargaining power if countries negotiate individually rather than collectively. In recent years, the United States struck mineral-focused agreements with the Democratic Republic of Congo aimed at securing critical supply chains. Observers note that such bilateral deals may sidestep broader continental interests if not carefully managed. Experts warn that without a unified strategy, African nations risk being sidelined in negotiations over trade, security, and natural resources. At the same time, global players including China, Russia, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates are expanding investments and security ties across the continent, intensifying competition for influence. Some African leaders argue the time has come for greater self-reliance. Ghana's president has recently urged the continent to strengthen regional industrialization, deepen skills development, and negotiate for a bloc rather than individual states. While frameworks such as the African Continental Free Trade Area and the Agenda 2036 exist, progress has been gradual.
Ghana has reduced the farm gate price paid to cocoa farmers for the remainder of the 2025-2026 season, following a sharp decline in global cocoa prices. The decision, announced by authorities, affects farmers nationwide in the world's second largest cocoa producing country. The move aims to align domestic prices with the international market after global cocoa prices fell to around $4,000 per metric ton due to weakened demand. The new rate set by the regulator Cocoa Board drops from nearly $5,300 to $3,580 per metric ton, with government directing immediate repayment of farmers affected by earlier payment delays.
Ghana, the world's second largest cocoa producer, has struggled to sustain high payments of farmers amid the downturn. Payment delays in recent months left thousands of farmers without funds for food, farm maintenance, and operational costs. At the same time, unsold cocoa beans accumulated on farms as demand slowed. The annual framework price is set by the Ghana Cocoa Board, known as Cocoa Board. Officials say the adjustments is necessary to stabilize the sector and maintain competitiveness in the global market. Government leaders have now directed Cocoa Board to begin immediate repayment of all affected farmers in the bid to restore confidence and ease financial strain in cocoa-growing communities. For many farmers, however, the price cut underscores the vulnerability of Ghana's cocoa sector to the global market swings.
And in our final story, Ghana will host a Fugu and Kente trade exhibition in Zambia in March 2026 to promote Ghanaian traditional attire and strengthen cultural diplomacy. The announcement was made by Ghana's Foreign Affairs Minister following renewed interest in Ghanaian cultural wear during President John Dramani Mahama's recent visit to Lusaka. The initiative aims to deepen bilateral ties, expand market access for Ghanaian textile producers, and transform cultural exchange into trade opportunity. The exhibition will be held in Zambia as part of Ghana's Month celebrations and forms part of Ghana's broader strategy to project its cultural heritage internationally through structured trade and diplomatic engagements.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs has announced that Ghana will host the Fugu and Kente trade exhibition in Zambia in March 2026, following heightened interest in Ghanaian traditional attire during President John Dramani Mahama's recent visit to Lusaka. The renewed attention came after President Mahama appeared in the traditional smock, drawing public admiration from Zambia's President Hakainde Hichilema, who openly expressed interest in acquiring more of the outfits. Observers say the gesture marked a shift from earlier cultural misunderstandings to stronger diplomatic goodwill. The Foreign Affairs Minister indicated that the exhibition would provide a structured platform to showcase Ghana's rich textile heritage while creating market access for local designers, producers, and cultural entrepreneurs seeking entry into the Zambian market. He described the initiative as a convergence of culture, diplomacy, and trade. The event will coincide with Ghana Month in March, an annual celebration dedicated to promoting Ghana's culture and traditions. Earlier development also saw the Zambia Revenue Authority remove duties on fugu imported from Ghana for personal use, further boosting interest. What began as a controversy over Ghana's traditional smock has evolved into a powerful diplomatic movement, reinforcing how cultural identity can strengthen international relations and open new commercial pathways.
And that's how we end the top African news. Stay tuned for news discussion, which is up next.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 026 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks. Welcome back from that break, and just gone by is the top African news, and we're just about to begin the news review. So if you just join us, just stay tuned. This is the Hello Africa morning show, still live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities, and I'm doing this with my brother, Dr. Ajiman Oshidako. Doc,
Hi, Phil.
how are you doing?
Doing good by God's grace, and you?
I'm very fine, thank you.
Splendid.
How was your weekend?
Oh, it was a wonderful one.
It was a Valentine weekend.
Yeah, a quite unique one.
Okay.
Because you know, when you take Valentine to the weekends, there are a lot of sessions on love, relationship management, and a whole lot of things.
Okay.
So we had a lot to learn, a lot to watch,
Okay.
a lot to be shocked about, a lot to be intrigued about, a whole lot more over the weekend.
Okay, now you're making me feel jealous because I didn't have anything to do.
Oh,
on that
really?
day. I had to sleep a lot because I was really tired.
Ah.
So, I mean, my day was practically just restful, you know. But I appreciate the rest because I needed it anyway. Well, so we'll just go straight into our top African stories, and we'll begin with the first one. So QS has officially launched the inaugural QS World University Rankings Sub-Saharan African 2026 in Accra, introducing the first ranking framework dedicated solely to institutions in the region. The new data-driven methodology assesses universities based on research impacts, employability, sustainability, global engagement, and learning experiences. Organizers say the rankings are designed as a strategic benchmarking tool to strengthen academic performance, boost global visibility, and also position sub-Saharan African universities completely on the world stage. Basically, this is it for what's it called? The QS rankings.
Yep.
So, straight into the discussions. Does this really matter? Okay, specifically for the African context, sub-Saharan Africa.
Yeah. To everybody out there who's watching us, I mean, it's about time we get to tell our story. So the World Higher Education Rankings has been happening for the past, 20 years or plus, more,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And it helps a lot because universities, students, and parents are the key stakeholders within this whole academic chain, because parents will now have to fund their children to go to school, and universities also have to do their best in imparting the right kind of knowledge and quality that the parents expect. So every stakeholder within this phase I've mentioned needs to see something to make a decision. So these rankings have come to inform them appropriately. For example, parents, to make decisions on which school, which location, which program should we invest our words in to go and study because it has great prospect. For students, which institution, which program, which location would be the best for me so I can have the maximum experience I will need so my academic journey is concerned.
Okay.
For universities, it gives you the benchmark to know how quality matters.
Yeah.
Because somebody is watching you, and somebody is also keeping an eye on what you do. So you are also intentional in faculty setup, intentional in program sourcing. You are intentional about the way you teach, even doing a study on traces, employability studies, to know if these programs, graduates who complete with this degree from an institution get employed in how many years? In 5 years' time.
Yeah.
A university is in Ghana. They have graduated, let's say, students in a program. For a decade, those students are not employed.
Yeah.
They should be worried about it.
Yeah.
And that is why QS is there. QS wants you to start getting worried about these things so you can double up your effort. So it's very relevant, Phil. On the face of relevance, it's very relevant.
Yeah, I appreciate where you're coming from because I asked to get a bit more details into that because a lot more people are seeing it more as a competitive platform on. That's fine. I mean, people or schools will begin to see that this is some sort of competition they may not want to engage in. But this is where I always say competition is healthy in this kinds, or with regards to this kinds of things.
Yeah.
Because like you rightly put it, this is what will help a student know that, okay, I'll prefer this university to this university. I'll prefer this department to this. Like this kind of, like you have the opportunity to choose amongst all of the schools across Africa in the continent and choose to decide to study wherever you want to study. So this is of great relevance and as well for the schools as well. They get to know what somebody is doing and that they are not doing right.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, the level of African higher education is going to be high up there as we are looking at it.
Yes.
But one of the things that struck me was that in the top 10, 9 universities are coming from South Africa. And then in the top 20, after the first 9, then you have other places like West Africa and East Africa coming in the mix. And I was very shocked to see this because if out of the top 10, 9 schools are coming from South Africa, the question is, what is South Africa doing that the rest of Africa is not doing? That's the Eastern Africa, Western Africa, Central Africa. What are we not doing correctly? Because it's a major question for me. And like we have just dissected, we know what QS is doing and what it means for the universities. So on the part of the universities, if I was a chancellor, a vice chancellor of any of these universities, I'm not going to say that I'm going to be worried, but I'll be concerned to know that, particularly if I'm not in the Southern African zone, to know that the top 9 out of top 10 are coming from Southern African, from the Southern African region. What are they doing that the rest of Africa is not doing? As a major challenge.
Yeah.
And I went on further to realize that it has to do with the research impact they are doing, the employability rate of students coming from these institutions, and the sustainability methods that they have in terms of funding. So the conversation is now clear.
Yeah.
If any vice chancellor is watching this that is not within the Southern African zone, I think this is the cue for them to begin to think about the things that they are not doing right in Eastern Africa and Western Africa as well. Because I'm glad to see that at least in the top 20 there are some Ghanaian schools in there. Yeah. Okay. So I feel like this is where the conversation begins. So the rest of Africa or the rest of the schools, I'm sad I didn't see UCC in there anyway.
No, UCC was that.
Yeah, but not in the top 20.
Yeah, so you have, I think the top, the first pronunciation was done. We pronounced certificates some institutions on Friday. Yeah. And then it was, I think UCC was mentioned, and then University of Ghana was on the top of the list, of this list. But Phil, you know, for us to appreciate what really makes this work, we need to also know what the methodology is, or what the
Exactly.
criteria are, which I would like to spell out.
Great.
So there are 6 core areas, indicators that they look at. The first one is academic reputation, which is based on your teaching and learning quality, your instructional quality in terms of research. How do you undertake these things? And these are global surveys they undertake, and they want to know the way you teach, the quality in your teaching, the quality in your research. The next one is when you mention employer reputation. That is, how well have you been able to produce graduates who are employable?
Yeah.
So they do the studies to know how many graduates you have who are out there. And I think during the program there were concerns that were raised on this one.
Yeah.
That does it really that doesn't really matter, because somebody can be can graduate and will spend a decade to get a job.
Yeah.
And because they have numbers, because they are highly populated, you would think that, well, it's just their gate.
Yeah.
But if your graduate spends a decade before they get a job, out of 200,000 students, then there's something wrong somewhere.
I agree.
So this was raised by Mr. Patrick Ewa,
President of
President of Ashesi, saying that how about the time in employability? Maybe when graduates are produced, it takes them less than a year to get a job. How about that? Because in terms of numbers, that one will be more important as an indicator, rather than whether the time or no time they get jobs, because numbers matter in this case. For example, then we have a matter of faculty-students ratio. So what is the number of faculty you have just opposed to students? Do you have one student to one lecturer to 50 students or lesser? So that also matters to see the quality of engagement you have with students. And then we also have the citations per faculty. So how many members in the faculty are doing research, are publishing, because that also matters. It tells you that research is a healthy lifeline within the institution. And finally, is the international student ratio. How many students do you have who are foreigners or non-Ghanaians or non-Ugandans or non-Zambians who are in institution learning? It tells you that you are attractive. Somebody would want to travel and study in your institution because there's something good you're doing. So all of these are very important. But you mentioned why South Africa has much of the institutions on the list than the others. You know, Phil, if you look at things very critically in this case, you realize that in resource aspects, South Africa is well endowed compared to these other African countries. And it is more appealing for someone to study, even if the foreign student aspect is a very, I would say, encircling factor to deal with. You realize that somebody would like to go to South Africa to go and study than in any other part of the country, because of how economically attractive and buoyant they are. So there are a lot of reasons why the South African region seem to have a lot of representation. However, the University of Ghana topped the list in terms of that ranking. And the idea is there's something good happening in the University of Ghana in their faculty-wise, research-wise, also having foreign students. So you cannot, there were other concerns that were raised. Concerns about strength. You can't compare University of Ghana to a university like UPSA or Radford or Knutsford. There are differences in terms of capacity. So there were appeals that maybe there should be a conscious effort to know the levels, or else
you might want to fix your
there may be you have only university or these public universities becoming the top rank, because yes, they have services of government, yes, they've got the capacity, but the others too do not have. They use IGFs, but they are doing their best in terms of these indicators. So maybe we should sub-open, or we should look critically in seeing how we could give them leverage, so that those ones who haven't got capacity could also be acknowledged for something good they are doing within their own small space. They are doing something better, so they could be leveraged on. And finally, is that the world rankings is different from the South African one. So world rankings are very competitive.
Yeah.
So you have few Africans showing up on that world rankings list. You are walking the stage with the likes of the Cambridge, the Oxfords and
Johns
Co,
Hopkins,
the Harvards.
Yeah.
So if you see an African university pop up there, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal, yeah.
But Sub-Saharan Africa is just a new space or a new niche that QS has deliberately created for Sub-Saharan African universities to also see how we level ourselves up. So it's a good one. And there's one aspect that I find very important that they should look at, and it also calls for the creation of a committee that will be dedicated for that purpose.
Okay.
Some of the programs, because subject rankings also came up.
Yeah, that's important.
How significant are your subjects? And there are some subjects, you may not see significance, but there is indigenous appeal for it. We call it, it has got Africanless appeal.
Okay.
So there was a question that who has presented anything like an African this, African that? Well, there were some people say, yes, we do programs like that. We have African studies and this, African that. And these programs too, even though globally they may be quite oblivious about it, but it is indigenously relevant. How about that too? So yes, if you believe that you are having a program which is indigenous oriented and you think has got value, bring it. But before QS will admit it and now make it a part of their criteria, it has to be, there has to be an indigenous committee, a committee that understands the African terrain and the evolving nature of our academic system and how indigenous programs matter. So they could say, well, this program matters, this one matters. So they can advise QS on how to better serve the Sub-Saharan community very well. Because in all, we are trying to tell our narrative in our own way. Nobody should be able to tell us how Africans should rate themselves. The African community should be able to tell them what is happening and how things should go.
Yeah, I absolutely appreciate where you're coming from with all of your comments. I just want to touch on the employability part of this issue because I'm happy to know that Mr. Patrick Iwar raised this issue.
Yes.
And you see, I'm excited about it because his university has some kind of a model that allows his students to be easily employable.
Yeah, absorbed quickly.
Okay, so for him to make mention of that so that other universities could be able to leverage that and do likewise.
Yeah.
It's absolutely a top-notch thing for me.
I met somebody from British Council who said, I mean, this was quite far away, somewhere in 2016. He said, it has come to bear that because of the kind of training students in the chassis go through, the values that are being imparted in them, I mean, it's so glaring that he will not look at an chassis CV twice because of what he knows is happening there.
That's the summary of it.
And that was it.
That's the summary of it. That's the summary of it. Because what they do there is absolutely fantastic. So for him to come up with this issue so that other universities can work it, I mean, I applaud him for that. But going further still on this report, one other major issue was the representation of Francophone universities. So from institutions from Senegal, Cameroon, DR Congo, Mauritania, Djibouti, Togo, I mean, were equally included, but they didn't have very strong numbers in terms of the rankings, which brings me to that point to think that is language or the choice of language in which they are studying the problem. Because I know, for example, in a lot of schools in Europe, for example, there are countries that don't speak English, but they run courses in English as well. And these schools rank high in the world rankings, not even to talk about just the regional rankings, you know. So I feel like maybe this is the point where the Francophone countries in Africa must start opening up to the languages and do a lot more programs in dual languages possibly, and not necessarily only French. As much as I respect French in every French-speaking country, and I mean, I'd even want to learn to speak French myself. So I appreciate that, but I feel like because English and French are global languages, this is a thing that African universities within the Francophone space must begin to embrace, like, aggressively, if you ask me. Because I feel like it's part of the reasons that may have affected their rankings, even on the Sub-Saharan
But I feel it is arguable, okay?
Of course.
I mean, language shouldn't be the barrier
Exactly.
for measuring quality.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody has got their contest. they don't have to now do English before they can appeal to the QS. I think that's what QS should be looking at, and it began on Friday, is strengthen its advisory space.
Great.
Yeah, they may have their own advisory space at their headquarters, but they should also try and have a contest-based advisory team, which will be carefully picked, carefully established for them to advise. Because you can't say if you don't rank us in English, then you can't qualify for ranking. Because French is also an international language. So is Portuguese.
Yeah.
And I mean, on the whole scene, English, French, Arabic shouldn't have been or shouldn't be. We have got countries like China who actually held on to their own language.
Yeah.
So in Ghana, if we had an indigenous language like Swahili is popular in the East in South Africa.
Yeah.
I mean, they are doing their Swahili. They are doing the Swahili in East Africa as well. So it shouldn't be the issue. Content is content. Delivery is delivery. Result is results. The medium doesn't really matter. Yeah, if students are employed, they are employed. If faculty is wide, it's wide. Student faculty ratio is not language bound. I don't see how language interposes in all these things.
Yeah, so that's why I agree with you on the advisory issues, so that then the structures are well built, the parameters are properly defined, so that nobody is lacking behind or feels disadvantaged as a result of language or things of this nature. But I'm only looking at it from the context where we can try to blend these things equally, not only because of the university ranking level, but also to favor the students, okay? Because this is what will make the diversity of Africa come alive properly, because then it will be easy for a student coming from like an Anglophone country to say, I want to go to Cote d'Ivoire to go study. Even though they'll be able to study French alongside, then it becomes
there will be the medium of leverage there.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the context from which I am looking at it from. All right. So based on that, we'll just go straight into the second story for our review. And President John Dramani Mahama has been elected first vice chairperson of the African Union for 2026 as Burundi's president. Ndayishimiye formally assumed the rotating AU chairmanship at the 39th ordinary session of the Assembly in Addis Ababa. President Ndayishimiye takes over from Angola's João Lourenço, with the new AU bureau reflecting representation from all 5 African regions. Ghana represents West Africa through President Mahama as first vice chair, while Tanzania serves as second vice for East Africa and Angola as rapporteur for Southern Africa. The Northern African third vice position is yet to be confirmed. Now, the 2-day summit is held under the theme of sustainable water and sanitation in alignment with African Union goals, with AU Commission Chairperson Mahmoud Ali Yusuf calling for stronger political integration, financial independence, and African solidarity amid rising geopolitical tensions. So President Mahama making West Africa proud out there. What do you make of his position as first vice chair?
It is, first of all, Mr. President, congratulations.
Absolutely, congrats, Mr. President.
And secondly, to let you know that this is responsibility. Is huge. Now, Ghana is a whole different terrain.
Yeah.
And for the African Union space, it's a much bigger terrain.
Yeah.
There are a lot of pending activities, pending expectations that have been lingering within the African Union space. African Union for a decade now has not been able to say that it has silenced the guns, which was a major campaign in 2020. African Union has last year had this theme as the year of education, but yet the continent is facing a lot of lags when it comes to its educational benchmarks. Our expectation to at least contribute to a GDP of 1.0 for research has not been achieved. We are still less than 1.0.
Which is sad.
Very sad. So, I mean, when somebody is assuming the office of African Union President, Vice Chair, I'm not amused. I'm not seeing any excitement. I'm not amused from where I sit because I know the metrics. I don't know for others if they are jubilating.
Yeah.
But we have seen several presidents come and go so far as African Union is concerned, and we've not seen any action that can be tagged to them. There's still rebel wars happening within, civil wars looming. There are lots of coup d'etats that's happened in the last 5 years, and there can be quite a number of them that can happen. There are rebel forces here and there in Nigeria, Sudan, South Sudan. So we are asking ourselves, is it just mere formality of elected people to assume the roles in African Union, or there's really something happening? Look at AFTA. I mean, we always say AFTA is an amazing initiative since 2018. You and I, or maybe if anybody has really been a beneficiary of AFTA and can say that, well, I've been able to travel freely from my country to another country without any stress, and tariffs have been reduced, because the goal of AFTA was to cancel tariffs with participating countries and then promote free movement and protocol where goods and persons can move freely. But here we are. Just recently, Zambia and Ghana were able to now build a treaty where it's visa upon arrival. South Africa did theirs in 2024. I mean, it's like, why are we just lagging in these initiatives? So if President Mahama is now serving on the leadership space of the African Union, then we must see something happen. We must see something happen, something that will cause us to say we are proud of the leadership, or else it's just mere formality for me.
I absolutely agree with you. One of the things I'd like to see him champion is basically what you're talking about, so that we embrace the borderless Africa, action, because it's one of the things that will grow Africa easily. It's very interesting to know that the cost of your air ticket from one African country to another could actually fly you to Europe or America, which I do not understand. Yet we are the same people who come for meetings, summits, seminars, conferences, and we are preaching this and we are preaching that, and we talk about after and all. So I don't understand why it feels like we take one step forward, then we take 2 steps backwards. So one of the things I'd love to see him do, I mean, I'm not saying that the rest of the presidents elected or appointed are not worth it, but because he's my president as a Ghanaian. And that's one of the things I'd love to see him do, is to push for these things, not only for Ghanaians to be able to have access to other African countries, because like we just said, what we did with Zambia recently, I mean, the presidents are responsible for these kinds of things. But if they can push for this agenda to hold, it will make Africa better in terms of trade. And at the end of the day, I'm looking at the scale of economics here, because it's one of the big things that Africa suffers the most. Finances, everything, and we depend heavily on the West, which for me is a problem. I feel like if we can do things in a more strategic way, in a more forward-looking manner, where everybody is on board, there's a broader scale and everybody agrees, whether a president comes in or goes out, whoever comes into the role from every other African country can be able to just align and show the same trajectory. I feel like that is where we are going to achieve a lot more things. I mean, former President Kufuor has served in this position as well. We saw his influence during that time and all of that. I'm not going to say that there should be a competition between what he did at that time and what President Mahama is going to do now. But I believe in building on legacies. So I feel like you said in the first submission, it's just an issue of responsibility. President Mahama has that responsibility to not only project himself as a person, but the country, and sell out the Africanness.
And so interest, he can't do that alone. I mean, he works. Absolutely. He works with other colleagues in the upper echelon.
Yes.
They have to. I'm just hoping for cooperation, maximum cooperation amongst them all.
That's the word.
Where political will becomes collective will for Africa, because it is so. It's not. I mean, it's not funny. We have lots of treaties and policies that we have laid down. If you go to the AU site today and you go to policies, you see a ton of them.
There are so many.
Cybersecurity,
Yeah.
digital financial services,
Yeah.
integrating this, integrating that, the CAD
Yeah.
for agriculture, a lot. But you don't see anything happening. So if we will see that difference, that positive change, that we want to see these policies making a difference, or even the Agenda 2063.
Yeah.
Come on, very wonderful agenda with excellent aspirations, and yet we only have them in abstract. We only aspire. So aspirations are good. It helps you double effort with potential and capacity to deliver. But our own is looking like their aspirations, and they are forever aspirations. I aspire. But aspiration must be backed by force to achieve. So we shouldn't just write down aspirations, 7 of them. They came before the SDGs, but the SDGs are being benchmarks for institutions, and the aspirations are lying down somewhere. We should cooperate to make a difference.
So quickly before we move on, the theme for this summit was assuring sustainable water availability and safe sanitation systems to achieve the goals of Agenda 2063. It still saddens me that in this day and age, we're struggling with potable water.
Yeah, I mean, just coming back to, they mentioned the same agenda. That agenda that does not find itself in our schools. Some programs in Ghana or in Africa are studying with SDGs as benchmark.
Yeah.
But where have we ever said we are introducing the aspiration to university students to research on the aspiration? We are researching on the SDGs. And you go and do your Viva, you are quoting SDGs. But if you quote the agenda, you look at you, what are you talking about? When are we going to start to integrate the Agenda 2023 into our academic system? Make it a part of our allegory in our minds as students. So as we grow up, we all bear allegiance to the agenda. If you want to see a difference, make things work.
And this is one of the reasons it looks like climate change is taking over the issues, because it's part of the thing that's under the SDGs. Yes, basic issues like water.
There's an aspiration in there that says that we Africans should be able to solve our own problems.
Yeah.
Either number 2 or number 3 in aspirations.
I agree with you, Doug. All right, we'll move again to the next story. And still on President John Dramani Mahama, he has announced a bold policy shift to stop the export of Ghana's mineral ores in raw form by 2030, pledging to prioritize local refining and value addition as part of a broader industrialization drive. Speaking at the Accra Reset Addis Reckoning event in Addis Ababa, the president said Ghana will no longer export unprocessed manganese, bauxite, iron ore, and other minerals. He argued that exporting raw resources deprives the country of jobs, revenue, and long-term industrial growth. The new direction also extends to cocoa sector reforms. The government plans to move away from foreign-backed syndicated loans toward domestic bond financing, allowing more cocoa beans to be reserved for local processing. Ghana currently has the capacity to process 400,000 tons of cocoa beans locally, but has been constrained by financing structures that collateralize beans for external borrowing. President Mahama says the reforms will boost job creation, strengthen the city, and improve Ghana's trade balance. This move is bold, Doc, but I find it exciting. And all I can say is I can't wait to see it materialize. Because for a country like Ghana that comes up with very bold initiatives, we just finished talking about how we have allowed these goals to come up, and then we don't even see the basics of that in schools in this country. I don't know if it is the same for other countries, but it looks like the same story, because we go to some of these meetings and then we present these things and people are looking at you strangely and thinking, based on what you have said in this agenda, we don't see the evidence of this in the policies that are supposed to build up the agenda at the top. So for me, it is exciting, but I want to see it happen as soon as possible. Thankfully, the timelines are not too far. 2030 is just about 4 years away. I can only wait to see what happens
in all of these industries that he has listed, so that we see that our raw materials are not going away just the way they have been going away for God knows how many years now. Because I agree completely that these things deny us some form of income and denies people jobs that could have been done here.
Definitely.
How is it possible that we take gold, for example, out of this country, we export it, and it's funny how we travel and go out there and go and buy this gold as jewelry and bring it back here,
Yeah.
and it's more expensive.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So it is an exciting thing for me, but I just want to see the practicality of it, which is what is on my heart. Like I said, 2030 is not too far away. I don't know what you make of it, Doc.
I mean, it is. I mean, I agree with you 100%. You know, these are very bold steps we take to build an economy. And today, as I was telling you, I think last time I told you, we have gone beyond the declaration.
Yeah.
Yeah. After declarations, they are easy to make. It is the action that follows.
Yeah.
It's the steps that follow.
Yeah.
We want to see lots of industries created for the refinery of our ores. We want to see bills, acts of parliament, or bills being proposed in parliament that will have a national, a nation-owned gold refinery, and not a foreign-based one.
Yeah.
That is hosting itself and giving us royalties, in quotes, peanuts, but rather Ghana investing into its own national, 100% owned institution that refines gold, and not one, more than one. So we can say that these things will be coming to pass. I mean, when you're able to study the sector very well, to appreciate the pros and cons, then when people make declarations like that, you can say declarations like this maybe are hasty declarations, or maybe these are very focused, well thought through declarations. So we are all here expecting to see the trend. But if Ghana owns its own value addition industries, I think that's the best thing we can do for ourselves. Because indeed, Ghana began from that onset. In 1960, when Kwame Nkrumah was in charge, Ghana had almost every industry to produce everything until his overthrow, where all these were collapsed. What a pity.
It's a sad. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
what
know
a pity.
how we left all of these things.
Yes. And all these industries faded away. Now they are just a shell of themselves in these local areas, and there's no act or there's no action to revamp them. Even existing ones, which are thriving, like the Commander Sugar Factory, the Pualugu Bolgatanga Tomato Factory. These basic ones, for the past 16 years or 25 years, we haven't been able to put them into good operation to give us better
sad.
results.
It's sad.
Because we have internal issues that are impeding on these progress. So if we are not even able to solve the pending ones or the incumbent ones and begin to make these declarations, we all believe, we hope in that declaration. But before they say a child who wants to buy a car tomorrow must be seen holding a bicycle's tie. Something must be happening.
Absolutely.
We've gone beyond the talks, but rather action. So I'm with the president on that, but I want to see show working. I like that mathematics term. That's when you are solving, show working. Let us see how you got there.
Absolutely. I'm just happy that 2030 is not far away.
Yes,
it's 4 years away.
yes,
We'll get to the end of it. We'll go on a quick break. When we'll come back, we'll continue the show. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Are you a university, college, high school, private organization, NGO, individual professor, instructor or facilitator seeking to take advantage of the numerous benefits of online education? Look no further. The AAU eLearn Africa LMS is a great opportunity to begin your journey to online course development and creation for teaching, learning and training purposes. AAU eLearn Africa LMS, which is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa, has made available ease to use online learning tools to all stakeholders within the educational ecosystem of the African continent. This is to enhance teaching and learning in the bid to expand online learning opportunities for students in Africa. The online platform is open and available for free
to all stakeholders and facilitates virtual access to classes without needing the other tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, among others. For more information, visit www.elearnafricalms.com or contact us via aaulms@aau.org or estherm@elearnafrica.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at AAU Elearn Africa LMS.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Hiya, this is Hello Africa. Keep watching AAU TV. Ciao.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks. Indeed, this program is proudly sponsored by Vena Mineral Water and Bigo Drinks. For your occasions, parties, whatever, patronize Vena and Bigo Drinks. All right, so we are going back into the stories, and then we'll go to the next one. Leaders of the African Union have gathered in Addis Ababa for their 39th Ordinary Summit amid growing criticism that the bloc is disconnected from Africa's youthful population. With more than 400 million Africans aged between 15 and 35, the continent has the world's largest population, yet is led largely by some of its oldest and longest-serving leaders. Analysts say this generational disconnect, alongside disputed elections, coups, and economic hardships worsened by foreign aid cuts, has deepened frustration among young people who view the AU as government-centered rather than citizen-driven. The two-day summit themed around water and sanitation under Agenda 2063 also comes at a time of rising geopolitical tensions and persistent conflicts from Sudan to the Sahel and Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. I like the story when I saw it in the brief. And the reason I like that is that young people are beginning to wake up to, for the lack of a proper word, the shenanigans of the African style of leadership. How is it possible that the continent of Africa that has the largest population of youth have very old people leading the continent? How are we supposed to be relating with very old people looking at this generational gaps? So the question is, do the old folks understand the young folks? Or are we still going by the regular African traditions of how we raise people in the African setting, such that even in your homes, you do not have the right as a child to talk back to your parents, even if they are wrong? That's how I'm looking at this thing.
You know, Africa, I would say, our context has that kind of, has nurtured us. And young people tend to be timid. In that part, they say when the old person, there's an adage, the old person breaks the earthenware bowl, as a young person, you can't talk about it. they are actually licensed to do wrong and not not be questioned.
Yeah.
But when you are young and you do that, I mean, it's vice versa. It's back to you, and this has actually affected the way we think as young people. Even if we have an idea about something, we are hesitant to express because it is known that if you are young, then you have nothing in your mind. I mean, you are equally dumb or blunt. You have no wisdom in your mind. But I have grown. I personally, they say elderly people will not been before, but for the young, will been before.
Yeah.
I have actually grown. This small growth I've gotten, I've seen something little in this world. That it's not about how old you are to determine the wisdom you possess.
Absolutely.
The good book, which we all believe in, it didn't say the fear of the Lord is at old age. It said it's the beginning of what? No, it said the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, not old age. Or
wisdom is not equated by old age.
Yes, so it didn't say the older you grow is the
wiser
beginning
you
of
are.
wisdom. It said the fear of the Lord. So you can be old and not fear God, and you will not be wise, you are foolish.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you are young and you fear God, you'll be wise. So we have, I would say, it's dispersed. Young people wise in the midst of old people who are not wise, and a whole number of them. But let's go into the point.
Yeah.
The youth of Africa, according to the World Bank, they have stipulated in their analysis that Africa is blessed because it has a youth dividend, which is so precious that if Africa is able to harness its youth potential, this continent will grow. Other continents or other countries in the Western world have seen it because for them, they are first movers. I mean, if you go to economics or in business, in any action, we've got first movers, second movers, and we've got laggards.
Yeah.
It has come to notice that Africans, we are proudly holding on to the laggard position. We will not make a first move, neither will make a second move. We will always wait for others to go and succeed. Before you go, it is already history. So what are you doing with your youth population? Do you know what they are doing? They have gone out of their way to create very enticing, very lucrative scholarship programs that would bring the youth, move them hastily from Africa to Europe or into the Western world, for them to study. After studies, they will stay, work,
integrate.
and brain has been drained already. And that's how you lose your youth. Look at what happens in the Mediterranean. Look at people who are packing themselves. So people are aware that they will be endangering their lives, but they voluntarily will endanger their lives because they want a better life for themselves. How can somebody say they want a better life for themselves while they're in the country? There's a lot wrong going on in that country or in that continent. If your youth are looking for greener pastures, means your pastures are not green. They are dry. Where is the water to make it green?
We just spoke about it.
And for almost I'll say 6 decades, since the declaration of the African Union's independence by Kwame Nkrumah in 1963 at the OAU, Organization of African Unity, where they all met, and then he's made it clear to them that Africa can unite and through our unity we will grow. Up until today, these same old people have been in power. Recently, Ghana did a review of its constitution. And some of the advice that came was that we can now make the presidential age less than 40 years, right? The recommendations came, right? We're all happy. The question is, what next? What next?
Who is pushing for that to be implemented?
Yes, I mean, as for you can fund for it to be done, but who will implement it is the next thing. Who has the power to do it? We know who the person is. But when will the person do it? We don't know. Good. But let's move on. You understand me better, okay? Now, we just talk. Now, fast forward. Young people are in this continent. And look at, I'll put one case study, Nigeria. Nigeria is one very sad case study about their leadership and the youth population. Nigeria is over just 200 million.
200 million.
Come on. And that 200 million has a huge chunk of them being youth. And yet, look at the outcome of their elections. Look at the performance. Look at the outcome. they vote for people who should be relaxing. They should be in a chair, relaxing,
Giving
and
advice
advising
to the young ones.
Not them leading the front.
Yeah.
But rather it's vice versa. How can young people look at the condition? Look at what they are going through. Everything is not good because a young person will be able to understand what is going on. So let me just end right here and say that the young people in Africa, yes, are becoming impatient. It happened in Madagascar, remember?
Yeah.
Madagascar, somewhere last year.
Last year, there were too many
They
riots.
said we will not allow it to happen.
In Kenya, there were
Change
riots.
the leader, yeah. Kenya is also being impatient. Burkina Faso, they've done what they would do.
Yeah.
Now they are seeing progress.
Yeah.
It happened in Togo recently,
Yeah.
where Faure Yadema, who's the president now, didn't have it quite easy because they were like, no, we're tired of this kind of leadership. We want to see operational efficiency. We don't want this usual business.
Yeah.
We want to see radical transformation. And who can do it for us? Maybe somebody who's like us, a young person who understands how young people are thriving and their complexities. I rest my case.
One of the things that saddens me when we want to go deeply into politics in Africa, one of the trends I've studied is that even as a young person, when you become politically aligned with any party, at the end of the day, what feels like a promising start begins to look like. In the party, there's a hierarchy. You just came. Regardless of how influential you are, it's like, well, you met this person, so this person must ascend the throne before you. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter the ideas you have. And these are the things that gives rise to riots, to violence, to coup d'etats. Because like you said, people are growing impatient. Ghana, for example, everybody is, let me see, or not everybody, let me say most people are impressed with President Mahama's 1 year so far. But over the weekend, as I was resting, one of the things I came across, even though people were focusing on love because it was Valentine and everything, subtly there was the conversation of Ghana's situation of Galamsey and Oral.
It's
1 year
lingering.
on.
It's lingering.
So people
It's
are beginning
lingering.
to ask,
Yeah. It's
why is the silence so loud? Okay? And these are young people. These are not old folks. These are young people. And I was a bit surprised because this is a weekend where people are supposed to be doing
Having
whatever,
fun.
love, having fun, whatever. But look at this is a conversation that's going on.
Yeah, water is not clear. It's temperature levels are
That
high.
tells you how much people's mindsets
Yeah.
are actually resetting, okay, and then people are beginning to think of what is due them.
Yeah.
Because it does not make sense to be in your country and not have basic things going right. We had issues from the past, even in Ghana, where you even apply for a passport and then sometimes it gets lost in the system. Thankfully, this government has tried to make things better in this kind of regard. So simple things, basic things. We are talking about water here, water bodies. And it is affecting us because water tariffs are going up. If these water bodies were clean, we wouldn't be talking about
Energy
tariffs.
tariffs.
Exactly, because the process that it goes through for the waters, the water to be refined, for it to reach our homes, it's energy, everything. So it is a ripple effect of one thing after the other.
Yeah.
So how these leaders are not seen from our point of view as young people, I don't know. It is. I don't have the words to describe it. So I wish and I hope that our African leaders, current leaders, the older folks, will begin to see eye to eye. Look, invite the young ones into the meetings. Invite them for all of these summits. I'm not talking even about political appointments. Listen to us.
Definitely. No.
Understand what is going on.
Yeah.
Times have changed. There's a generational gap. What you used to know 10 years, 20 years, 30 years ago, it's not the same now.
No.
So you need to listen. You need to have conversations. You have children, you have grandchildren.
Yeah.
Engage them. Don't sit on the high horses in parliament and in the presidencies and presidential villas and whatever, riding in motorcades, and that's all you're doing until you're out of office. Where's the connection? I rest my case as well.
Yes. Case well sustained. I think that we can proceed.
We can
You
proceed.
can't say much on this one, can you?
That's all we can say.
Yeah.
And in our last story to review in this segment, China has announced it will implement zero tariff treatment on imports from 53 African countries starting May 1, 2026, expanding market access for African exports. The move extends an existing policy that already covered 33 countries and will apply to all African nations with diplomatic ties to Beijing, excluding Eswatini. The policy aims to boost African exports to China, supported by facilitation measures such as Green Channel for agricultural products. China remains Africa's largest trading partner and continues to finance major infrastructure projects under the Belt and Road Initiative launched in 2013. Chinese President Xi Jinping says the expanded zero tariff agreement will create new development opportunities for African economies. Doc, China.
Now this is what we call action. This is not a promise, so it's done. this is when we say yes.
Out of 55 countries, they have done it for 53.
This is what we're talking about. This making a change. That is bold. So today the world is being taken over gradually by the prowess of China. And you have a lot of pushback from the US because all this while, when they had all these anemic and very unfriendly banter with China, it's all because of these. Because they know China has got the capacity to do things that can give them that heart shock, that shock. And this is one of them. Just the last year to this year, the weapon that President Trump had was, I will invoke 10% tariff, bam, 20% tariff, bam, 100% on China, bam. So his own weapon he had was tariffs. Today, China is not a dependent option. China has got options, not option. And it's very disturbing for the US, perhaps. I just brought them in just to make that point. But China today is making a very bold statement in Africa. That listen, I'm giving you this offer, 0% tariffs, you can import. Because my economy is huge, my GDP is huge, and therefore I want to export. So now, if you are importing from any country in Africa, within those number of countries, from my country, you don't pay anything in terms of tariffs to me. Now that is bold, because China wants to expand.
Yeah.
China wants to have its footprint across Africa very well, to be a superpower that it wants to be. And today it's laudable, because China indeed is doing amazing works.
Yeah.
Look at the vehicles that China has been doing these days, the EVs.
I was just about to talk
China
about
has added a whole new value that has taken the world by storm. So indeed, doing business with China today is not like it used to be in the past. Today there's great guarantee of quality, unlike it used to be in the past. So it's a great move by President Xi. I think that it's for Africa too, it helps, because literally China has been a great partner. The investment China has made in this country or in our African countries, if you are told, if you get to see them, they are really, really, really significant. So it's a great one.
On the mention of the EVs, lately, almost every single day, I see an EV in traffic. I have never set an eye on before. And I feel like China is giving competition so much such that now I see Toyota brands EVs. Last Friday, I mean, there's a friend who lives in my neighborhood, so we come to work together. And so we are both car enthusiasts, so we are looking at cars every day in traffic. I was just in the office last Friday, and he texted me a vehicle and said to me he's not seen this before. He just saw it in traffic. It was a Mercedes EQS, which is an electric vehicle. I went to look at the vehicle.
Very nice.
Beautiful ride. Interior, classic. Then I said to myself, all I said, even before I saw this story, China is doing something.
Yeah.
Because they are the kind of bold statement they are doing in the EV world is crazy. Formerly, you would not want to drive any Chinese car. But not now.
That's if there were Chinese cars.
Yeah.
There wasn't any Chinese car.
the few ones that came from the beginning were, I saw a few.
Quite a number of them.
And even now, those same brands, there's one called Geely, G-E-E-L-Y.
Yeah, Geely.
Look, I saw a recent model of that brand lately. It's a mini SUV. And since I saw that one about just a month ago, beginning of this year, the other models I've seen of the same brand, it's crazy. Because that car used to be a brand I would not patronize, I tell you. But if you give me that car as a gift now, I'll
take it.
thank you so much.
Geely, Howo, Haval,
BYD.
is it Shanghai?
Yeah, Shenzhen, yeah.
Shenzhen. So I mean, they are taking the
They are taking over the market.
They are very innovative, and their cars come in very ultra modern.
Yeah.
The interior is mind blowing.
And I think Jitor is also one of them.
Yeah, Jitor, yeah.
That car is absolutely fantastic.
Jitor, yeah.
Absolutely. And it's funny
Jitor,
how it is
GWM.
becoming a dream car for people.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Jitor,
There's one of
Bronco.
them
Like-
that looks like the Land Rover Defender.
Yeah, yeah. They have the.
I can't remember the model name, but it's a Jitor brand. People are falling in
Jitor,
love with it.
Yeah.
So, in that aspect alone, look at the statement that China is making. Now they are opening doors for no tariffs for anybody.
Yeah.
that
So
wants to
meaning that
import.
you can the motivation is that you can now import vehicles from China and have much lesser importation costs because
Yes.
the tariffs that could have discouraged you from shipping it from China is
Yes.
no more.
Yes.
So now you are quicker to bring it.
Yeah.
And this is a strategic move
Yeah.
that you can also take to make the market yours.
Yeah.
So if you have a problem, then you should cancel tariffs.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Those who have problems
Yeah.
should also zero tariffs.
Yeah.
Yes, then you can know you are much.
You can only match them. You either with them or against
Yes.
them. So
If you're a country and you don't like what they're doing,
yeah.
cancel tariffs
so,
too.
So the ball is in your court. You have to play.
And you know, see,
play
interesting
safely.
enough, China, which is far beyond our shores, in our continent, in Asia, is actually believing in our after more than we do.
It's
Which
interesting.
other country in Africa has signed a zero tariff and is currently operationalizing that? If you inform this
Between
country,
each other.
zero tariff. Apart from Togo, that has a free port, which was the day before after.
Yeah.
Which other country again says that for me,
that's
if you
a major
import from my
question.
country,
Yeah.
you don't even import of ourselves in the first
Yeah.
place to say even have zero
Yeah.
tariffs.
Yeah.
And we are talking about ECO too as well. ECO came up somewhere January 2020.
Yeah.
All finance ministers or finance executives met
Yeah.
in Nigeria
Yeah.
to appreciate
I
how they
remember
could
that.
forge a way forward. What happened? The public debt of these countries deterred actions to implement this
Yeah.
process. Today we see it coming up again. See, Africa, we are tired of all the talks. Don't talk again. If you act, it will be better.
Yeah.
Let's act, not
Yeah.
talk.
I mean, we just have to take a cue from China and learn
They acted.
from them.
Did you hear anything like this before?
That's the funny thing. I was just going to say.
We didn't hear anything.
We didn't hear.
There,
that
there was no
it's-
declaration that we would
it's
take
being
away
discussed.
tariffs. It just happened.
just like that.
That is bold talk. That is action.
That's what we need
Not
to do. because
declaring things and then putting a years ahead of time when you are not there. So I wasn't there.
it's funny how we spend a lot of time debating these issues, even in Parliament.
Yes.
That's the funny thing.
You know, you ask yourself, who is the benefit? The people. And you are representing the people. Yet these things take time and they don't add up anywhere. That is the I would say the bad faith we have as leaders representing people.
Yeah.
It's bad faith.
Yeah. Anyway, beyond this, one of the things I'd love to see, I don't know if it happens in other African countries, but in Ghana, if we are having zero tariffs with imports from China, what it means is that the cost of your operation of business is going to be very low. I've already seen in Ghana people import stuff from China.
Else.
When you check the prices online, including whatever it might cost them to bring it into Ghana, and then you buy something worth, say, 100 or 200 cedis, and then you are pricing it here for about 1,000 cedis. And I'm wondering, how much profit do people want to make?
You know, the whole thing about this profit margin, you know, it's only in the monopoly space that marginal revenue will be equal to marginal cost.
Unfortunately, that is not the situation. but yet-
Everybody has access to the market.
Yeah.
And therefore, when you have gone to import and you price at this price, and I also do the same thing, that is our business. But you still have people who have lower prices.
Yeah.
So then it will be you alone within that boat, because the market is now saturated. It is not the other way around. We have not created a cartel or a cabal. It is an open market. So you can have a higher price, that's fine for you. But I will price mine lower and my market will run. Like in the spare parts market.
Yeah.
Nigeria doing better. The Nigerians in the market doing better than we, the Ghanaians.
Yeah.
And I mean, who's complaining? Because they have a better access. They reduce the prices and they sell faster. But we Ghanaians on the other side have so many taxes and levies on our head that we don't help our traders to sell and compete very well with this Nigerian counterparts. So they're always fighting them, which we should stop, because AFTA allows them to come and also retail.
Yeah.
And retail competitively.
Yeah.
So let's do the right thing and stop that agitation. It's unnecessary.
Well, on that note, be advised, if you're a trader and you are importing your stuff from China and under zero tariff and you still want to make outrageous interest, it's all up to you. God is watching you. We'll be back with Lifestyle after this break.
Ever wondered what drives ordinary people to do extraordinary things? Every week, a new story unfolds. But these aren't just stories. They are the journeys of courage, resilience, and vision. On Impact Stories, we open the door to remarkable personalities and everyday heroes. Experience the passion behind their purpose. Witness the setbacks, the breakthroughs, and the moments that defines a legacy. Journey with us on AAU TV every Saturday at 4 p.m. as we celebrate those who are making an impact. Tune in to Impact Stories, where real people share real journeys and real impact, each one leaving behind a legacy written in gold. Only on AAU TV.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks. Welcome back to the Hello Africa Morning Show, and this is the lifestyle segment where we talk about everything and anything. And we are coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities. My name is Philemon Edos. I'm still doing this with my brother, Dr.
It's a privilege. It's a privilege. It's a privilege.
And there's a lot of interesting stories, or let me say the two stories that are very interesting for the lifestyle. But let's begin with the first one. I'm more interested in the second one, but let's do the first one first. So Ghana has seen renewed global attention on its share butter industry after American streamer Aisha Speed visited a share butter museum during his recent trip, prompting entrepreneur and newly appointed cultural ambassador for share butter, Hamamat Montier, to highlight the moments at a meeting with the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, where she emphasized that the viral visit showcased Ghana's cultural heritage, boosted international demand for natural skincare products, and reinforced the country's potential to become a global hub for skincare production, with governments and industry leaders now calling for investments and partnerships to scale the sector and create jobs. Quickly.
Continue.
Oh, you are allowed to say whatever you want
Oh,
to
you
say.
say yours. Say yours.
So before even this discussion, the kinds of conversation I saw online about IShowSpeed and who is he and why are we giving him so much publicity and blah blah blah, and this thing we just finished talking about generational gap between older leaders in the country and young people. And I was surprised that people I knew who I think, in my opinion, should have seen this as an opportunity, because this young man, IShowSpeed, who is only 21, has over 50 million subscribers on his YouTube account or across all the platforms. So if this guy has over 50 million, let's just say even 1 million people are watching or have seen these videos about his visit to Africa. Do we have an idea of what this is going to do for us in the terms of the economy alone? And I saw people arguing so much about why we are giving him this attention, why he's even giving escorts and blah. I was amazed. And I was thinking, is it an issue of people not knowing what social media is doing these days, or they're just focusing on the negatives, or they are just envious or jealous that the 21-year-old is receiving the attention is received? I just could not understand. But look at where this is going. I saw a video of a Jamaican artist called Popcan also visiting the same place over the weekend to get a massage, just because of what IShowSpeed did. And we did hear during that visit that since that viral video, Hamama said they had been booked up to the end of March. Over the weekend, now they are booked up to the end of November 2026. Let's make the calculations. It's not coming into my pocket, but I'm happy for that.
The Kuria Kujenje has worked. And you know, Phil, another aspect to this conversation is I like to always call him Brema Kufu. Brema Kufu, like I love to always call him.
Oh, he was in a video on Saturday. He was asked what is his name.
Wherever you are,
and that's what he said.
Let me just greet him. Brema Kufu.
Greetings from Africa.
Yeah, from us. We greet you very much for what you've done. I think that his visit to Ghana was good. It was amazing, even though there were some shortfalls that got Ghanaians upset. I think that comment that came from this very person we all revere is because of the upset that came in. Now he became an icon, but some things that he did quite felt like it was a slap on the face of Ghanaian heritage, like the backflip into the Ghana Jollof. How can you do that? For Nigerians to now say that, Ghanaians, have you heard what they are saying? Your rice is not. You see that part, you know, it hits us.
That's the
you
downside.
You come and then you backflip into our jollof, our giant jollof bowl, and tell us that.
But you know, I have a different opinion.
But Nigeria is better. No, when you do that to us, we will blast you.
I have a different opinion, because if you watch that video, before he did a backflip, all he said is, and the winner is, and then he backflips into it.
No, afterwards he came out. No, before he even did the flip, his bodyguards were around him. They asked him, "So Speed, tell us." You know what he said? I think Nigeria is better. He said it. So the Nigerians now got us. That Ghana.
I haven't seen that.
Have you now gotten the results from yourself?
I haven't seen that one yet.
It didn't feel so good. So I think that, it was a bit disturbing. But fast forward, I'll say holistically, his visit was good. He played Ghana on the map. And today we see the economic benefit for this shea butter museum.
Well, I think there's a video too that let's quickly watch that video, and then we'll continue on with the conversation.
Hey, Chad, I love shea butter. I love shea butter. I love Ghana. Oh, I love Ghana, Chad.
This is how you hold it. Shows your power.
Shows my power.
You are being activated. This is not a massage. This is activation.
Yes.
Let's go, ladies. Korea, Korea.
Jane, Jane.
Korea, Korea.
Woo.
Korea, Korea.
Chat. Come on, baby. See your butter, me, baby.
Korea, Korea. Korea, Korea. Let's go, ladies. Let's show him the power.
Come on, Ghana.
Of shea butter.
This is the power.
Let's go.
Power of shea butter.
Korea, Korea. Korea, Korea.
Jane, Jane.
Korea, Korea.
Jane, Jane.
Let's go, ladies.
Come on.
Korea,
Jane, Jane.
Korea, Korea.
Jane, Jane.
Korea, Korea.
Jane, Jane.
Woo! How you feeling?
I feel amazing.
Go down with the butter. Yes, we need to activate you.
Yeah.
Yes, you've been working really hard the whole day, the whole month traveling, and now it's time to relax.
Oh.
The African way.
Yes.
Yes. This is pure shea butter made this morning just for you. You need to be bathed and taken care of like a baby. How about his hair, ladies? Come on, all of you.
My hair?
Come on, all of you.
To be in
Yes,
this
he's
position.
living my dreams. I have to be there.
You're serious? Your dreams?
They should also smear shea butter on me. I don't know. I think I also need to be there. The president of Ghana also referred to him that he liked the way he was Korea Kujenje. We should always be in that condition.
Okay,
Yes.
at this point, you are speaking the mind of many Ghanaian men.
It's therapeutic.
Okay.
Rubbing shea butter on your body, it's therapeutic.
Is it the rubbing of the shea butter or the rubbing of the shea butter by the women?
Don't worry, I rub it myself. So that's what you want. All you want is I should do it myself.
No, I just want
I don't have
clarity.
to be there.
No, I
At
want
least
clarity.
I want to go and see how it feels to hold those two stuffs.
Okay.
In that stew and be
Okay.
rubbed.
Okay.
But shea butter, it's very simple.
Okay.
That's my dream.
Okay.
But Phil, I
Okay.
think that is also, I mean, it's a great site for tourism. It tells
Absolutely.
how shea butter is made. You know how the whole shea butter value chain process, the shea tree brings out the shea fruits, and then they are harvested, and then how they are grounded and melted, then we get this whitish, creamish oil product, which is very organic, very healthy for the skin. But we as a country, I mean, that's a sad part of the issue. We as a country, we are not harnessing that potential more than people outside. I mean, a lot of organic healthcare products or skincare products are made using shea butter. What is the investment for shea butter?
Yeah.
What is the investment?
That's a
What is
major
the
question.
indigenous effort to bolster shea butter?
Yeah.
That's why I always tell you that it's not about the talks, okay? It's about the work. They've been there for over 30 years.
Yeah.
Shea butter production has been there for 30 years. Today we wake up and say we want to strengthen industries. It's a good thing, but we want to see work being done. So this industry also needs that support. I mean, it's only export based. How many people in Ghana use shea butter? We are buying those.
Yeah, we buy those ones
foreign
from,
ones
I mean,
that
from all those
cause
markets.
a lot of skin
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
A lot of skin issues.
Yeah.
But shea butter is affordable.
Yeah.
It's like our local rices. They are very affordable. They are healthy, but we don't buy them. Where is the Abahima rice? On what shelf in modern trade is that available? Who is buying
That's
it?
a huge
Who is
question.
selling it? Who is marketing it? Who is branding it?
So I'm glad that this exposure has brought some of these qualities that we have refused to see, even though it was right under our noses.
Yeah.
So I just hope that we can capitalize on it now. Hamamat was already doing well, and now she's going to do better because of this exposure. And I hope that this begins to generate that conversation that will change the skincare industry in Ghana, because I do know of a few companies that do products with shea butter and some other organic material that we get from here, especially when it comes to leaves and herbs and things like that. So I hope that we are able to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
The fact that you can even eat it and generates oil for domestic stuff from it is also another key factor. So I just hope that we are going to be able to take advantage of it and make sure that the value chain, that's what is more important.
Support
to
the
me.
value chain.
Yeah. So that everybody can be able to make something
It's a very
out
good
of it
venture
from
that
it.
could create lots of opportunities for young people.
Yeah.
Look at this creation. How much creativity
Yeah.
caused this? this whole Shebata Museum thing.
Yeah.
I don't know who put it together, but it's an excellent idea.
Yeah, it is.
And it's
I know
it's
she's
tourism.
been doing this for a while now.
Yeah.
I just didn't know that she was going to blow with this exposure from
It's tourism, it's entrepreneurship. And she was daring to get his attention and then pull him over to the space. So we should help young people in this space. And I have one more request to Beme Kufu. Beme Kufu, the last time you came to Ghana, maybe because you were tired, you didn't understand and appreciate the jollof. Please try it again, and try it again and make your comments so that we'll make it clear, because Nigerian jollof over Ghana jollof.
And as a matter of fact, if I Should Speak comes back to Ghana, no brand should try to influence these kinds of things. The gentleman had some sort of idea for himself. He and his team had an arranged thing, and brands try to want to position themselves in the plan. I mean, it was one of the reasons he found it difficult to make whatever declaration we were expecting, because somebody wanted their brand. Endorsed.
So you think that was the reason why?
Not, I think that is what it is.
Oh,
It's not a
brand
it's not a
took
conversation.
advantage of it.
Yeah, it's not a conversation that is
Okay.
known to me only.
Okay.
It's out there. Everybody's talking about it,
Okay.
and it's one of the things that mattered the whole show. This visit was sponsored. Okay, he had people back him, so there was no way he was going to do anything which was not contractually binding for him. You understand what I'm trying to say? This is business in a certain sense.
That's a very unique angle you are bringing that also makes the point
look, when
clear.
people try to do
Like,
things,
maybe he felt a bit
because it was one
compromised.
of the reasons he says he didn't come for content creators, because the content creators already have their platforms. They already have followers. They have people who view them. So I didn't come here to create content with you to boost your page or do whatever or make you more popular. That's why he wanted to meet just local people.
For the locals,
for the
the
indigenous
ordinary
people. The
yeah.
ordinary people. That's why he came to showcase Africa. And my personal favorite was not even in Ghana, the history of Benin. You know, I didn't know Benin was that beautiful. Anytime we talk about Benin, all I hear is juju in my head. Now I have a different idea.
That's true.
You know, so if this should happen again, please, the brands, respect yourselves and behave yourself. Thank you very much for the word so sweet. You won't like it, but this is the truth. All right, so we'll move into the story that I've been waiting for. Very interesting one.
Pam, pam.
Drum roll, probably.
yes.
All right. So the government of Ghana, through Communications Minister Samuel Nate George, has initiated diplomatic and legal processes to extradite a foreign national accused of secretly recording and distributing intimate videos of Ghanaian women without consent, engaging Russian authorities and international partners, including Interpol, to ensure the suspect faces prosecution in Ghana under cyber security laws as part of efforts to protect citizens' digital rights, uphold privacy, and address growing concerns about online exploitation in the digital age. Did you see any of those videos?
So let me start by saying that, yes, I saw some videos. I only saw the videos where the engagement began. And if you look at this Russian young man, he's a content creator himself, Yeslav. And Yeslav, if you read his bio and his goal is to create content on meeting people. And creating a rapport with people. So if you go to, he has an adventure that I'm going to meet people, talk to them. It's a way of trying to tell you how you can approach people. So that was his goal and focus. And he has had videos, several videos on his platform of how he met people, met ladies, and how he was able to comfortably talk to them and lure them and persuade them to be with him. So that is his goal, that's his aim, his achievement. So if he's able to make it, that's his achievement. Whatever happens next, that is concealed. I think there are some that have been monetized. I have not seen those ones. But Phil, what comes to the space is he has not only been in Ghana, he was in Kenya before he came to Ghana.
That is worrying.
And I don't know in the Kenyan space what their cybersecurity laws are and what their stance are in terms of disseminating obscene content. But in Ghana, for the past 3 years, we have had acts of parliament and laws that have come to deprive or to stop and to seize the act of disseminating obscene images, obscene videos of persons, either with or without their consent. So if somebody has a nude video of somebody and I participate in the dissemination of it and I post on Facebook that this is a naked video of this, I will be arrested because I have aided and abetted in that distribution of such obscene content. And Ghana's laws are very strong on this. They heavily frown on this activity, and if you are caught, it will be a heavily deal with you. But and his ignorance of this law is no excuse. So it's not
that's what the law says.
We can't table at all.
Yeah.
What really matters? So from that side, it's a no-no for him.
Yeah.
Now the other side, this same person also had some box that he was checking. If you realize in every video, and anybody he met, he was very keen to ascertain some things. If they were married, and if and how old they were.
Yeah.
Because he had a cap. I know that he knows that 16 years and below, whether with consent or not, is defilement and rape.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to go there.
Yeah.
So he got the ages 20 days that he was okay. Also, unlike any other condition, things were more consensual. Nobody was heckled, nobody was pulled away. Everybody gave in for this activity. So the only downside was the videos being published somewhere and some even being monetized.
Yeah.
So that means he knew what he was doing. So there's no cause to say that you can only forgive. But there's another aspect to this. That is the moral aspect.
Yeah.
That this issue can't be exhausted fully without taking the legal. If you assess the legal, assess the moral as well.
Moral, yeah.
Phil, morality is not law. Law is law.
That's true.
Morality is morality. So let's deal with morality here in Ghana. It has come to the notice of Ghanaian citizens, especially the men. And there are lots of bloggers out there who are 24/7 are giving men that heads up that, listen, you think you have a woman you are taking care of, they are doing something else with somebody else. That's their job. There are lots of them over there. And men are becoming so impatient and overly, I would say, skeptical about their partners.
At this point, insecure.
Yeah, it's very insecure because now the listing they are watching. So this man comes in and does nothing so complex. He just meets you, asks your name, what you are doing here, follow me. And you can follow somebody you don't know.
That's the strange part.
To their apartment. What if they are
going to kill them or whatever?
They will abduct you. What if they abduct you? They chloroform you. What if this happened and then you are now the new ransom for someone to go and pay, they can get money. Are we not scared of this? So it tells you that our society today is becoming so reckless when it comes to these things. And it's a sign of that kind of negligence as people. How you meet people for the first time and then you are giving vital information out. How you meet somebody for the first time and then you can even follow them to their homes.
Yeah.
Even to the extent of being in their bed. I mean, this is so disturbing.
In fact, in the videos, most of these women look so comfortable. Some were dancing.
Very disturbing. Is it because he was
probably
white,
a white man,
or he was from a country? It tells you how economically people are now looking at.
Yes.
I mean, these people are as they are, and all in all.
Yeah.
Because at least, if not for anything, you could be on the next flight with him to Russia.
As a matter of fact, I have heard unconfirmed sources saying that he offered them about 200 cedis or something after I don't know, after whatever. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, 200 cedis. I'm not saying that these ladies were engaging in open prostitution as their consent, but there should be a bigger motivation.
Yeah.
Immigration. People want to leave Ghana.
Yeah.
It's something that if you mention to anybody, they want to leave this country at all costs.
At all costs, by all means.
Yeah, people leave Ghana and then go to countries that you left Ghana to this place?
Yeah.
Yeah, to Russia. Yeah, but what is happening in Russia?
Yeah.
But people would like to go to Russia, and at least off Ghana. Recently, Ghana signed an MOU with which country in the Caribbean?
The name doesn't come
It's not
to
Cuba.
mind.
It's Ecuador, right? It's Ecuador.
The name is not coming to mind immediately, but I know about that thing.
I think the president came to Ghana recently.
Yeah.
Ecuador, is it? I don't know, but
yeah, one of these countries.
If you compare in terms of performance or economic, I'll say comfort or something, they are not doing any better than us. But we are preparing to arrange nurses to go and
to
work
take them there.
Yeah, so it tells
true.
you that people are just tired of living in this country. They just want to go somewhere else. If they go and suffer, and it's better off. Because if you can stay on this sea and die.
The country is Grenada.
Grenada, yes.
Yeah.
So it tells you that people are just wanting to go, and they think that the white man or anybody in that complexion is their solution to the problem. It's because internally we have not placed things right. So Ghana's the self-esteem of the Ghanaian is shaky. In Kenya, there was a video with a Kenyan woman. The Kenyan woman approached him, and then she was the one introducing herself to him.
Which probably means she may have heard of him, and
I don't know.
she's
And she was like, "Where are you going? I'm willing to accompany you anywhere you go." I'm like, you are willing to? I have nothing to do. Yes, you have nothing to do.
I have not seen that video, but that is
it happened
depressing.
in Kenya. It happened in Kenya. The woman met me and I was like, "Hi, hello, I'm this. What's your name?" Say yes. I said, "Where are you going?" So I'm going to City Mall. Say, "I can go with you. I'm doing nothing."
What kind of desperation is this?
Because they are doing nothing. Philemon, the people are doing nothing. The young people are at home doing nothing. They are earning nothing. So therefore, the best they can do is to do that. If young people are earning something, are busy at something, they will not waste their time meeting new Russians and other from other countries. You know, today was Russian. Maybe the other countries do the same thing.
As a matter of fact, this is only because this guy has put it on video.
Yes.
Because I am aware of many of these kinds of things that are not on camera.
Yes, because they are vulnerable.
Because I've been to places, I've seen people.
If we are busily at work, we will not be lured and swayed by $20 or what will I go and see your apartment for?
Yeah.
Because I'm idle, and idle hands are always employed by the devil. So this is the result. And innocent people like a woman who is married.
Yeah, I saw that one. I saw that one.
Case is quite unfortunate because now her marriage is on the brink of collapse. Yeah. It's all because she took a decision to go and see the apartment.
Yeah.
What popular thoughts say that she should have gone there with somebody. Because what if you were kidnapped? You claim you were with your boss earlier. Your boss said she couldn't go with you. Then you could have abandoned it. But you further went alone. What if it was a trap?
Look,
how can you give that excuse?
Beyond trying to prosecute this guy who has criminally done whatever he has done, I agree that the law should take its course.
That is if
yes,
there are treaties, because I don't know, U.S., Ghana have extradition agreements.
Yes.
I don't know for Russia.
Russia and Ghana.
So it would have to be a talk.
Yes.
If it will succeed or not.
So beyond this, I want to know how this ends. But beyond this, the bigger question is how these people, probably number one, may not or were not busy, and the issue of morality, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Because all these people I saw in these videos are grown women who I want to assume are sound. Nobody gave any context or picture that looked like they were not in their right senses. In a worst case scenario, I have imagined that probably they may have been hypnotized because it was too easy to say, hey, how are you? Where are you going? How old are you? Follow me. And that's it in under a minute or 2 minutes. And somebody you don't know. So is it, like you're saying, is it because this person is white? Is it because there's a possibility of them thinking that, okay, this person can marry me or travel with me or do whatever? Like, these things are crazy. So the conversation should go beyond these things. And I mean, as a society, particularly in Africa and wherever, Ghana and wherever else this may have happened, people need to guide themselves with this thing. It's not pleasant.
It's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. I mean, as much as
unfortunate. Anybody who is caught up within the space. So, sorry about that. And let's do better for ourselves next time.
Africa deserves better.
Moving with strangers. I mean, when did they start?
Yeah.
But that is us. We find ourselves in that condition.
Yeah. Whatever reason is behind this, whether they were hypnotized or it was deliberate or what they went for it, I don't know. But
it could have been anything. You could have been dead. You could have been abducted. How about that?
So take care of yourselves
and each other. Look out for yourselves. And on that note, we will end the Hello Africa morning show, today's edition. You know, last week we did promise you we were going to do a Fugu Monday. Don't worry. That Fugu experience is coming. There's a bigger experience we have planned.
Yes.
You didn't see it today. I know somebody's already texted me about it. Don't worry. That surprise is coming.
Who is that? Who tested?
A friend of mine who watched last week.
Oh, okay.
And she saw that she's seen today's
Supply
video.
Supply the fugu for us.
As a matter of fact, yes.
Correct.
I like that. Yes. Actually,
supply the fugu.
Supply it.
Let's wear it.
Sponsor us.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be nice.
So supply the fugu, we'll wear it and we'll acknowledge you.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be a way to sell Africa as well. So we are ending the show. We'll see you next week. My name is Philip Monidos, and I did with my brother, Dr. Ajiman.
Thanks for it's always a great honor doing this with you every day.
Absolutely. We'll be back next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.